5 out basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 out basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
We're gonna do a hot takes. This is gonna be not second week in a row, but the second week and third week we're gonna do a hot takes. But this one is gonna be exclusively NBA playoff related. Also, it's preview for next week. We have fan hot takes coming in, so if you have hot takes, leave them in the comments, please. Does not have to be playoff related, but we want to react to fans' hot takes. We already got around 20, which is great for a channel that's not as big as we are yet. But the more the merrier. We want to get a wide variety of content. But I have 5 playoff hot takes. We're about 3-4 weeks out, and it's pretty. I don't want to say it's pretty much confirmed, but I think we can make a safe assumption on what teams are going to be in the playoffs and what teams are not. So I have 5 hot takes. Let's get into it. Firstly, they currently are matched up against the Knicks. I think that would be, if they get matched up against the Knicks, I would just retract this hot take and statement. But if it's not the Knicks, I think the Magic can give any team in the first round a problem. I know there's a team that's young. It's not the greatest team of shooters in the world, but this team has so many guys that can defend, so much energy. And Paulo Banchero is a star. That guy is a star. His shot has started to develop, but he's just a freak of nature that can dunk anything in the paint. He can defend. He can pass the ball. Very LeBron-esque. And if you have a player like that, you can give any team problem. Then you pair him with Franz Wagner, who is also incredible. His shot's also been developing, but he's a great playmaker that could get into the paint. And then you have so many guards. You have people that are energetic like Jalen Suggs. You have Markelle Fultz. You have Anthony Black who's waiting to take that emergence. You have Wendell Carter, Mo Wagner, Giga Bukatsi. Definitely butchered it. So sorry. But it's just the Magic have guys, and the style of basketball they play can just give team problems where they're defensive, but they still have 2 stars that can get you a bucket. I think they desperately need a shooter, but if you give them a team like the Cavs or the Bucks, or not 76ers, they're literally plummeting out of the playoffs right now. But this is a team, I'm not saying they're gonna win. Like they're not gonna be incredible. Like they'll probably take it. They can take any of those series to 6 or 7 games. Though I love where this Magic team's going. I think there's so much potential there, and I think they're ready to start playing right off the bat. Secondly, the Thunder will be Western Conference Finals bound if they sit Josh Giddey. Please, please get this man out of the starting lineup. He just ruins everything the Thunder will have going for him. They'll be on the hottest streak, and then Josh Giddey's like, "Oh, watch me do something stupid," and then it just ruins the momentum. It's just you have 4 players that are just so fluid with each other, get everything going, and you have Josh Giddey looking like a doofus, not knowing what he's doing. Then had to put on my mimic voice whenever I talk about Josh Giddey basketball because it's a disgrace, and this isn't something we're saying just because of like accusations that happened this year. Josh Giddey is just not good at basketball. Like there was a reason his draft analysis like, oh, he's not good at anything. It's one of the funniest posts of all time. I still can't believe I've seen that, but we've really seen it this year. And he's shown flashes in the past of his playmaking, but his playmaking has regressed and nothing else has really improved. And for a team, he's still young, but for a team that's ready to win right now, Josh Giddey cannot be in that lineup. It's not time for the Thunder to be developing players. It's time for them to prove when they're ready to win. Now, Gordon Hayward was supposed to be the guy that's going to take a spot in the starting lineup, but Gordon Hayward's been trash on the Thunder. Not a nice way to put it. I know he's older and like you might give him time to develop. Nope, we don't got time for that. Like you got to be ready to hoop with the team right now. And Gordon Hayward hasn't been that. So I think of the Thunder. I know they love the Isaiah Joe spark plug off the bench. Have him start. Let Isaiah Joe start next to these guys because they love to play the 5 out basketball. And Isaiah Joe is one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. It's just a much better fit. So if the Thunder want to make the West, here's how we're going to phrase this. If the Thunder bench Josh Giddey, they are going to the Western Conference Finals minimum. If Josh Giddey starts for the Thunder, they can seriously be first round exits because teams are going to scheme around this. And when you have teams that are in the lower seeds, like the Lakers have been bad, but they're a nightmare matchup for the Thunder. You have teams like the Mavericks. They could be a team like the Suns in there, the Kings. Like if they get these teams can give the Thunder problems, and the Thunder need to realize it's not time to develop, it's time to win. Josh Giddey needs to be on the bench in this playoffs. Third team, third take. The Nuggets and the Celtics have kind of been the lock for the finals this whole season. I think the Nuggets are a much clearer lock than the Celtics are. The Nuggets, they're not the number one seed right now, but you just watch them play basketball, like, yeah, this is easily the best team in basketball. Jokic is the best player in the NBA right now. They have all the perfect scheme fits. Aaron Gordon's just that menace in the paint. Jamal Murray, one of the best playoff risers in the league. Him and Jamal Murray, him and Michael Porter Jr. are going to keep getting those shots down when you need it. Christian Braun's incredible. They have great guys off the bench like Reggie Jackson, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, DeAndre Jordan, Lowell. Like this team is just the dream fit. I know you see that with the Celtics, but Jason Tatum hasn't proven this season to be the star of Nikola Jokic. Like, oh, Jason Tatum, you're not number one in the league. You're only top six. Boo, you suck. Jason Tatum's still a top six player. Let's stop disrespecting him like that. But there's nights where Jason Tatum just takes his foot off the gas and just coasts while everybody else does the work. And we've seen this team have issues in the past. I know it's the best Celtics team we've seen in the Jason Tatum run, but if Jaylen Brown has an off night and Jason Tatum isn't able to get the foot on the gas, there's worry for the Celtics team because Drew Holiday isn't a scorer. Porzingis is incredible, and Derek White isn't a scorer. I just think the Nuggets team is a much better fit. Or no, let me rephrase that because the Celtics team fits well together. The Nuggets are just looking better as a team right now compared to the Celtics because their star guy is going to hoop whenever they need it. We haven't seen that with Jason Tatum yet. Do I think the Celtics are still the mid favorite to make it out of the East? Absolutely. But believe the Nuggets and the Celtics are on a different caliber player where I can confidently say the Nuggets are a lock for the finals. I can't say that about the Celtics. And if the Celtics get a team like the Knicks in the second round where their defensive monsters are going to completely clamp up on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're in for some trouble. I think there's more scheme issues for the Celtics for the rest of the East than the Nuggets have in the West. So I cannot sit here and confidently tell you the Celtics are a lock to make it out of the first. Not whoa, yeah, they are a lock to make out the first round. They're not a lock to make it out of the East. Speaking of first round exits, though, the Timberwolves are going out in the first round. I'm sorry, guys. I said this in my last when we did the last hot take episode. I'm standing on it because before that, Cat wasn't even hurt with a torn meniscus. Now he is, and now Anthony Edwards is the only scorer on that team. That's awful. I'm like, I want to see Anthony Edwards take this all-star, not all-star, he is an all-star. I want to see him take this star leap so bad. But this Timberwolves team is just in a terrible scenario heading into the playoffs, and I feel for him. I feel for the team so bad because there's a team that hasn't won in a while, and they had a lot to prove but they're not going to be able to prove it this season. The West is just too good. And they're going to get like a team like the Mavericks in the first round, Luka Doncic is going to have a field day. And the Mavericks aren't even a good defensive team, but they really got to just scheme around Anthony Edwards because like Rudy Gobert isn't giving you these 20-point performances. And then is Mike Conley going to be the hero? Is Jaden McDaniels going to be the hero? No, they're not. They're just not scorers like that. And it's the playoffs slow down and you're not going to see as frequent amount of points but you still need 2 to 3 guys that can give you a bucket. Anthony Edwards can't be the only guy. And if Anthony Edwards is proven to be this guy, he's going to be a star. You're going to make the argument that he's the best shooting guard in the league. But I just think the Timberwolves are in for a nightmare this playoffs. And I feel for them because if they had Karl-Anthony Towns, I'd be so much more confident in this team. But Anthony Edwards, fantastic player. It just can't be him. You need more scorers than that because teams know how to stop one guy. It's just the NBA is too wise now. And my last hot take is the Heat voodoo magic is done. This team is not going to be an 8 seed and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again. And I know you don't want to be that guy. It's like, oh, LeBron and Curry, they're old. They got to be washed. They keep hooping. Because every year we doubt the Heat, and they do it every year. But this is the worst Heat offense I've seen in that run. They even traded for guys like Terry Rozier, but they're just not consistent scoring. The offensive scheme is not, just non-existent. I know this team can clamp down and give problems, but the voodoo magic's done. I don't think they're gonna get as big of a rise as Jimmy Butler because age is starting to get up to him. Bam Adebayo hasn't taken the leap we were looking for to see him become an elite scorer. And it's just you watch this Heat offense, it's just like pickup offense. Like there's not really a scheme to give guys buckets. They're just kind of hoping for the best. And so the voodoo magic has to go away some point. So I think I would say the Heat voodoo magic's gone. If they make it out of the first round, I would be genuinely surprised. They could probably win a game or two, but I can't say with them as a lower seed that they could beat the Celtics, the Cavs, or the Knicks, or the Bucks in 7 games. Like I can't see them taking 4 games out of a series. So that is the NBA playoff hot takes. Not sure how hot I think some are hotter than the other ones, and some are probably going to leave people a lot high. Like, how could you disrespect my Heat like that? How could you disrespect my Timberwolves like that? Because I have a microphone and I can say whatever I want into it.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.